There's about a dozen archipelagos around the entire globe, and amongst them about a half a dozen that are pretty heavily populated, that comprises about 1/10 of the world's population. And they are pretty dynamic in terms of how you might even measure them. So modern and empirical measurement standards, which have been applied to mapping continents and oceans, get pretty funky when we get into archipelagos. Is it the number of islands? Is it the number of people? Where do they start and stop? How big are they exactly? And Chile is a pretty interesting case in point. You probably know that there are multiple archipelagos within the Patagonian archipelago, I assume. So as we expand our partnerships into Chile and into Patagonia, I think there's a couple important things to think about and remember. What I've been learning is innovation, which tends to be the silver bullet of climate change. Mass timber, use electric energy. These things don't necessarily make a big enough dent fast enough. What your generation needs to do and what our profession needs to increasingly need to do is work with what we've got. If you look up the term architectural innovation, there's nothing in there that says new. There's nothing in that about being a new tech. It's about shuffling the deck. How do you rework what you've got? How do you alter the resources? This is a really important part of our center and the work. And how do you retreat those elements? In short, the history of archipelagos has been to strap them back to mainland and force them to behave like land. Most of the way we think about archipelagos is trying to recolonialize them as if they're another piece of the continent. That does not recognize how they could work as an island.